Welcome back to another episode of Your Life by Design. And I love that I get to talk about this topic today. In fact, most topics I talk about are things that I'm lit up about because it's more fun that way, right? Like when my authority gets on board with it, with my emotional authority, and then when my sacral center gets on board with it just makes it more fun to talk about. And this topic is about the power of embodying your gifts, this unwavering power where it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It doesn't matter if people are copying what you're doing, right? You are not a carbon copy. No one can actually copy you because you have your own unique energetic blueprint. And when you step into that embodiment, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Because people are seeking you out for your gifts, which is why I always say when we step into our gifts, we're able to have this ripple effect. And there are people who are waiting for these gifts, who are waiting for you to step into their gifts because they're waiting on the receiving end of it. They're not consciously aware that they're waiting for you to step into it, but unconsciously, there are gifts that need to be pulled out of them from their unconscious. And it can only happen if you step into your gifts. And that's the power of that ripple effect. It can impact your lineage. It can impact your future generations. And because energy is neither destroyed or it's just changed, it can impact past generations, just how the energy flows. And so if you have kids, it is huge. It's such a huge benefit to your children when you step into your own gifts because you can model to them what that looks like. And so to drive this home today in this episode is I want to share something that happened recently. My husband, growing up, was a very shy kid. They moved around a lot. His dad was in the military, in the Canadian military, so they moved around a lot. And I think for him, I know some kids thrive in that environment where they're constantly moving around, having new experiences. I think for him, he just learned to keep to himself. And he was just very shy until one day he went to some sort of presentation this is years ago, like probably 15 years ago, or maybe 13 years ago, where he went to some sort of he's in the IT industry, and he went to some sort of IT convention where someone talked about how being an introvert actually makes you an incredible networker more so than an extrovert. Because when you're an introvert, you get to listen to what people have to say, and then you're able to provide what they need because you're an excellent listener. Whereas extroverts tend to be more outgoing, and even though they could also be excellent listeners, introverts tend to just be more quiet and observe everything. And so that was a shift for him. And one of the things that he's excellent at doing, and this was something that took him a while to recognize, was that he had this ability to see where someone might need something, right? Like this product that he's trying to sell, this IT product that he's trying to sell, and a customer is needing something and he knows how to make it fit for them. Like he's, I guess, the great salesperson. And the only reason why he felt confident in doing that is because of him learning as an introvert, this is like a skill of yours or a skill of an introvert, just like listening. And of course, he learned how to like hone in on that. But I remember him being in meetings with other businessmen, and they would say to him, okay, we're going to get on a meeting with this customer, and I just want you to do what you do. And he would always say, like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And he would say, just do what you do. You're great at it. Do what you do. And he would get off the call and he would say to me, he's like, Karen, they're telling me to do what I do, but I don't know what I do. I don't know. And I'm like, I could see it. I could see that he was able to really listen to what this customer needed and was able to really show why this tool or this product would be beneficial for them. And he could convince you of basically anything. And I've heard his friends say this about him as well. But I think because for the longest time, he struggled socially, or he growing up was very quiet. That was the story he told himself. So it took a while for him to recognize. And he started to get it over the years. Over the past few years, realized that this is his gift. This is something that he's really good at. And a few days ago, we went out for dinner. And so he was saying to me that, so basically he does a bunch of different things. He's a manifesting generator like me. He has a lot of different hats that he wears. And one of the things that he does is he helps other business people be able to craft or be able to become more experienced and knowledgeable in a particular tool that he's very well versed in. And so, more so than there's other trainings that these people can take, and they'll still come to him and they're saying it's night and day. The way that he's able to break it down, the way that he's able to teach it, the way that he's able to have them get it, that he has like different exercises and tasks and assignments, and very much of being able to embody the knowledge of what he wants them to get out. He has this very specific way of teaching it, to the point where like people are leaving this training and they're getting jobs or promotions or whatever, because now they are able to use this tool in a way that's meant to be used. And so there was some, I guess, I wouldn't say controversy, but there was like there was another corporation that does this training that apparently it's not done as well. And that corporation reached out to my husband and basically said, can you teach us? Can you teach us what you know so that I can share that, or so that we can do this, so we can train the people? Now, one person could look at that and say, absolutely not. This is my craft, and I'm not going to share this with you. I'm not going to give away like my business. This is just what I do. And that would be like your decision, your choice, if you want to look at it. My husband looked at it as another opportunity to step into his gift, right? Another opportunity to share his wealth of knowledge, to be able to get more people trained in this. And one person could look at it as they could potentially take business away from him, right? These people would now then go to this corporation versus going to him. And so we were out for dinner the other day and we were talking about this, and but here's the difference. Even though if I train these people and what they do, it's not me. They're not getting me. They're just getting how I train. They're just getting like some information. The people that I coach, the people I train, get access to me. And that's the difference. And when he said that, I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible, because this is what it's like to embody your gifts. This is the power, the unwavering power, where it doesn't matter if someone else is copying the information that you're doing. It's not the same energy. They're not putting in the same energy, or they're not going to get everything that you offer, that you put out, because they're tapping into something that's not you, right? You own your gifts. You embody it. So it doesn't matter. It's just unwavering. And then the amount of confidence that you can go in, you're like, sure, I can teach you this, because it's me. You're not taking me. I'm just giving you some information. And I just thought that was such a beautiful example of being a living embodiment of your gifts. And I've said this on a podcast recently when we talked about simplifying your human design. I had the same thing with like my gift of my channel of openness that connects my throat center to my solar plexus, where I've always thought that I was just verbose and saying things that like are irrelevant, and being teased for how chatty I was. When I ultimately embodied this gift and saw that it was a gift for me, it didn't matter what other people said. People can still say she's super chatty. She talks a lot. Like she interrupts, which I do and I'm working on. She interrupts. She says things that whatever people say, it doesn't matter, because their perspective, their opinion of me is just a reflection of what's going on for them, right? When you start living your embodiment and your gifts, you're going to trigger other people, especially those who either don't feel like they can live their gifts, or if you're doing something that like other people want to do, but they don't feel like it's possible for them, or maybe they haven't fully recognized that this is something that they want to do. So it's being pulled out from a subconscious level, and they can project on you. And it's up to you to, if you choose to receive that, to give acceptance to it, or to still have like your kind of like boundaries in place, and to know what your power is, what your gifts are, to be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think of me. It doesn't matter what you say of me about me. It doesn't matter that you're doing the same thing as I'm doing because you don't have access to me. It's not me. This is huge. This is what separates you from other people. This is what creates success. This is what creates you going against the grain. This is what creates you being an architect of your own life. This is what creates having your vision go from a vision to your reality, is you having this embodiment and knowing without a shadow of a doubt it's going to happen. And I encourage you to start exploring that a little bit. Go back to my episode on simplifying human design if you want to learn how to incorporate some of your gifts in a very easy, digestible way. But start learning what your gifts are and just have this unwavering faith, or just this unwavering acceptance of it, that it doesn't matter what other people say, those are your gifts. All right, this is a shorter episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to share more of. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It is a little bit of a shorter one, but definitely a mighty episode with a really great, powerful message. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.